Well, hey there, American Farmsteadhers. This is Jenny with the Grimstead Family Farm.
And Donna with Hazel Bell Farm.
We are coming to y'all from Northeast Florida as two American Farmsteadhers, doing our best to grow our own food and share our homesteading experiences with you in hopes that you will grow a little food of your own.
Yeah, this week we are broadcasting from Charley's Chicks in Baldwin here in Northeast Florida. And he has a chick event, chicken and chick event.
Chick Days.
Yeah, Chick Days, last Saturday of the month. Hundreds of people come and buy their chicks.
You shop baby chicks?
Yeah, shop baby chicks. So we're going to talk about that today.
Yeah, he has a cool setup here. I really like his whole operation. I really feel like he has thought of everything. So you can come here and get started pullets that are close to laying, but he also does like pastured eggs and pastured poultry also.
Right. So that whole, if you want to come shop chicks, you can come buy your meat chicks from here, or you can buy your layer chicks from here, but you can also tour and see how to pasture raise, and he'll show you. He'll tell you. He'll help you get started. It's
Yeah. He's a super nice guy. So he's got a great thing going on out here.
Yep. I agree. So if somebody comes and buys their chicks and they bring them home, what do they need to do?
Yeah, well, definitely have that brooder set up and ready to go.
Yeah, we've mentioned that before. Have that done beforehand, like always. Heat lamp, they're going to need some heat. Have the clean water set up, and you can get your feed here at Charley's also.
Yeah.
They sell non-GMO feed and conventional, traditional feed. So take your pick and have all that ready to go.
Yeah, and here I am sitting here thinking about buying turkeys today and taking them home without my brooder set up.
Yeah.
But, it'll be a quick setup.
I mean, you have it set up.
I've got everything that I need. It's actually not technically set up. Whenever I don't use it, I usually tip it over on its side because my free-range chickens like to roost on it. So right now it's like standing up on its side and pushed up against my greenhouse. But
it's there. Like, you have it.
Like, it can be righted really fast.
Right. Okay.
Just in case.
Yeah.
I take turkeys home.
Right. Just in case. I wonder if he has turkeys.
I don't know. The last time we were here, he had turkeys.
Yeah.
So, so let's talk about brooder setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do something that I feel anybody can do.
Okay.
Quickly.
Okay.
Just nothing fancy.
Okay.
I use Rubbermaid bins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's just a few chicks, put them in a Rubbermaid bin.
Even if it's an impromptu purchase, or I forgot that I did a mail order or something like that, and it's like up to 25 chicks.
Yeah.
They're at day-old chicks. They'll huddle together anyways. You know? So I'll put them in a Rubbermaid bin or two under a light, and usually that's good. The last time I did it, it wasn't good. It wasn't enough light space per chick. So we figured you need like one light per every 20 to 25 chicks.
Yes.
And I was right on that threshold last time. I think I actually had like 30 chicks maybe. And it wasn't enough. They huddled together.
And it was cold outside.
It was cold. It was so cold.
Yeah.
And like, I think I lost 2 or 3 that first night. They got squished on the bottom. So be aware that can happen, and have, multiple lights if you want to raise a bunch. But if you're just looking for a handful, the Rubbermaid bin is great. I do pine shavings in there as bedding, and that'll get me by for at least a few days.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, at least a few days. But in layer hens, they're not going to grow as fast as your meat chicks.
Right.
And so they can get by in there for a few weeks.
Yeah, they're definitely a little slower growing than the meat birds. So I think a general rule of thumb is plan on having your chicks in a brooder for probably 4 to 6 weeks if they're laying hens.
Yeah.
Whereas meat chickens, I mean, if it's nice outside, my meat chickens are out of the brooder within 2 weeks.
Yeah, I like to get them on grass as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell about your brooder, because yours is a different setup than my easy, fast Rubbermaid bin.
Yeah, so technically I don't know really how many chicks my brooder will hold, but I've had 100 in there with absolutely no problems at all. So basically what we did was built a plywood box, but instead of having a hard bottom on it, we just did hardware cloth across the bottom. And so I sit that up on cinder blocks, so all the manure, Okay, I start them with pine shavings, but
Right.
after a while, I'll take the pine shavings out of there when they get a little bit bigger and they're not so cold.
Sure.
But all that manure can just kind of fall through onto the ground. I can collect it and compost it. And those pine shavings are really good to compost too.
Yeah, and they actually, like, I have a couple of bins that have just been sitting
Yeah.
that I need to compost, but I'm not actively making compost right now, so
Right.
I'm just going to use them as mulch
Yeah.
in the garden in places that will tolerate the pine.
Yeah, I have a whole wheelbarrow full that I'm waiting to get my compost out of the bin so I can start another batch. But I mean, meat chicken poo and baby chick poo
Yeah.
makes the best compost.
It does.
I like it better than getting manure out of my regular chicken coop.
So you mentioned that your brooder you've had 100 babies in there at a time.
Yeah.
So what size is that?
My brooder is probably about 6 feet wide, maybe 6 by 5, 6 by 4,
6 by 4 probably.
something like that. I can't remember what size it is actually. It might even be bigger than 6. And so on the top of it, there's 2 hinge doors. And then we built it to where we could slide a divider right down the middle in case we wanted to, like, do 2 different batches, 2 different ages, and keep them separate. But I never do that.
Right, just one big open
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
one
how
big
many,
open thing.
How many lights do you put on that?
Yeah, I always have 2 heat lamps running in there.
Okay.
Yep. Because, I mean, really, at a minimum, I'll do 50 chickens.
Right.
So
Right.
I always have 2 heat lamps on there. But I will say one important thing that you want to keep in mind with your baby chicks in your brooder is their waterer.
Yes.
It needs to be a waterer that they cannot drown in because
Yes.
they will get right in the water. They'll get all wet. They'll get freezing cold. So they can die from just being cold and wet, or they can drown in it.
Yeah, usually it's the cold and wet.
Cold and wet.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you can't find a waterer that is sufficient in that way, you can always put some rocks in the waterer. We've talked about that before. The little pebbles that you buy for a fish tank work really well.
Yeah.
But we just or marbles or something like that from the dollar store.
Yeah.
We've done all of those things. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good tip. And then feeders, you need to make sure that however many chicks you have in there can access the feeders all at the same time, because they may not always be eating all at the same time, but when you first fill that feeder up on a daily basis, they're going to run to it.
Yeah.
And you don't want anyone left out. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about heat lamps. So I personally do not keep a thermometer in my brooder. I mean, I guess I've just kept chicks long enough.
Yeah.
And if you just watch what the chicks are doing, you can tell if you've got the temperature right or
Right,
not.
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on them.
Yeah, if you just keep an eye on your chicks and you watch them, if everybody is huddled up underneath that light,
They're cold.
they're cold.
Yeah, add another light.
Add another light. If everybody has scattered and they're hiding in the corners of the brooder away from the light, it's way too hot.
Right.
So you really just want to make sure that all those chicks are just kind of freely moving about, not huddled anywhere. And so if they're, doing their baby chick thing throughout the brooder, then they're good.
They're good.
Temperature's good.
Yep.
But technically they say your brooder should be 95 degrees, I believe. And then every week, and this is for egg layers, every week you're decreasing the temperature by 5 degrees.
Right.
But I'm not that technical about it.
I'm not either. I mean, the times that we've hatched chicks, layer chicks in an incubator,
Right.
they hatch at like 101, right?
I think 101,
Yeah, and then they say that first day, put them in a brooder at 99, and then decrease from there. We might have done that. I don't know in the beginning, but yeah, we've just always watched them.
Yeah.
And gone from there. So
Yeah.
And then you mentioned needing to keep them in the brooder for 4 to 6 weeks. But really, it's going to depend on how fast they feather out, right?
Yeah.
So which is going to be 4 to 6 weeks generally.
Yeah. And your climate, too.
Right,
You
right.
know, I mean, I think, here in Florida in the summertime, we can definitely get our chicks out of the brooder a little bit faster than, say, somebody up north in the wintertime.
Right, definitely.
So, it just depends. It's not rocket science.
No, anybody can do it.
No, and that's what I like about the whole chicken thing. Like, anybody can keep chickens. It can be super simple with hardly anything, or you can get fancy and have, like, you know, the little Pinterest coop with the curtains
and the chandelier.
And,
yeah,
right.
That's cute for about a day, I'm just going to tell you. After the first day when they've crapped on everything,
yeah,
and you've got cobwebs and, you know, chicken litter, dust everywhere.
Personally, I like to keep my chickens as free-range chickens. Mm-hmm. I think that they're healthier. I mean, the experience that I've had at my farm anyways, my chickens are just healthier when they're not cooped up. I feel like I have, you know, there's more, I don't know, they're just...
I agree, but you have to understand, if you're going to have free-range chickens, you're going to have loss, right?
Yes.
And in our situation, anytime I leave them out for more than 2 days overnight, the foxes find us.
Yeah.
And the foxes find us. We have a lot of hawks. Eagles come, it seems like seasonally, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but we'll go a couple of months where there's an eagle close by, or a couple of eagles close by that we see on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And then we won't see them for a long time, and we'll get complacent and we'll stop locking them up at night, and then the foxes find us, you know.
Right.
So I always say, like, I have the best luck letting them out during the day and then locking them up at night. Yeah, for the most part. And then the other drawback of free-range chickens is the poop, right?
Yeah.
They're going to poop everywhere. And so, like, that's something like Joel Salatin says, like, he doesn't recommend free-ranging anymore because, you know, the quote, the chickens are going to come home, right? They know where home is. They know where the food is. They're always going to come home. And they like to be near their people a lot of times. They know that the people bring the food. So, yeah, so he does the pastured thing that way.
Yeah.
So, like, they're in a coop, they're in a managed coop, they're in a managed range kind of thing. Or the electric poultry netting works.
Yes.
So
that is my goal.
yeah, I know. We were talking about that this morning.
It is my goal. I really just need to take the plunge and do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just doing it.
It's just doing it. So what I'm kind of secretly hoping in the back of my mind, when we do the convention, Charley is coming out to the convention as one of our vendors, and he is going to bring chicks. And the deal is that whatever chicks he doesn't sell goes home with us.
We're going to buy.
And so...
hopefully Jenny's going to buy.
I mean...
I'll buy some too, but Jenny's the one who's pushing for more chickens.
Not that I don't want Charley to sell chicks at the convention, but if I end up going home with 50 egg-laying chickens...
not the end of the world?
Not the end of the world, and it'll kick it into gear for me. And sometimes that's what I need.
Right. So let's talk about, so you have a ton of laying chickens free-ranging in your yard already, but you're talking about getting more. So let's talk about, like, when you would want to replace your chickens.
Well, you know what? Actually, right now, I think is the perfect time to pick up, like, a good high-production hybrid chicken breed, something that's going to be laying eggs in about 4 months.
Right.
Because 4 months from now will put us right into hurricane season, which is generally when my free rangers really start to taper off with their layering. Like, especially if we have a hurricane come through, it just throws them off.
It's like, yeah, it does. It's like a switch.
It is.
Like, they're just like, they're done.
It is.
They're done.
Well, and then you have the time change in the fall.
Right. When you have shorter days.
Shorter daylight hours.
You have, less hours of daylight, which is what triggers your chickens to lay.
Right, which happens to be during hurricane season, and they're like, we can't handle it.
Right.
So I figured that if I got a brand new batch of the hybrid ones that lay within 4 months now, as soon as my other ones turn off, those new ones, they're gonna lay.
Right.
You know, hurricane season isn't going to throw those chickens off.
Right.
Because they're naturally just gonna want to start laying.
I agree.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good plan. It's a real good plan. And I was thinking, even if all of Charley's chicks sell at convention, you can always come here the following last Saturday of the month for chick days and pick out what you want, you know?
Right, yeah. So I'll probably go with, like, the Isa Browns or I really liked that Nova Gen breed, but they're all a brown hybrid chicken. And so those are going to be your higher producing, younger producing egg laying chickens versus like a heritage breed.
Right. I mean, they have the fun stuff here too. They have like some crested Polish and, all kinds of other Wyandottes and whatever. But,
yeah, what are the black pullets over there with the white fuzzy heads?
I haven't seen.
They're so funny. It must be some type of Polish.
Some kind of floofy, fun, pretty bird. Yeah. There's a lot of people coming to pick up pullets, actually.
Yeah.
So if you were doing that, picking up pullets instead of chicks, you don't need a brooder.
Correct.
You do need to coop them, even if you're going to free range them eventually.
Yes.
They need to learn where home is.
Yes. That way they're not just flying away.
Yeah, because they won't know and they'll leave. So you want to coop them for a couple of weeks when you first get them home. Again, do yourself a favor and have that stuff set up before you bring them home. And even if it's just 2 hens or 3 hens, you could keep them in a dog crate for a large dog crate for a couple of days.
Right.
But I would definitely recommend having your coop set up.
Yeah. It's always a good rule of thumb to follow. Before you bring any animal home to your farm or your homestead, have your fences done, have your coop set up. That is like a surefire way to add unnecessary stress to your homestead or lose animals, and you're just setting yourself up for something to happen.
Right.
And that just makes it stressful, and it doesn't have to be stressful.
No, and you don't, and you want success. Like, you don't want to lose your chickens on the first night you brought them home.
Right.
We know people that's happened to, and they're so discouraged.
Right.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, it is. So let's talk about heritage breeds.
Okay.
Heritage breeds are definitely, they're going to take longer to lay eggs. Some of them can take up to a year to lay eggs, but that's where you can really get particular about like the fun egg colors, like your dark brown chocolate layers.
Right.
Your Easter eggers, things like that.
Yeah.
I have a new chicken that recently started laying, and whoever it is laying these tiny light blue eggs.
Aww.
And I've always gotten a lot of green eggs on my farm, but this one is definitely blue.
Aww.
And it's a small egg, and I can't catch who's laying it.
A new layer, though.
A new layer, yeah.
That probably hatched on your farm?
It probably was one that hatched on my farm, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't remember the combination. So there's like all these combinations that you could really geek out on genetics of getting the right egg color that you're looking for.
Yes.
And I can't remember what's the combination of what color rooster to cover what color hen to be able to get that blue, for who lays blue.
Right.
I know Charley sells the true blue chicks here.
Oh, really?
That's something I'm interested in. Because I have one chicken who lays a blue egg, and I don't know who it is either.
Yeah.
Because I have like 50 chickens. Literally.
Yeah, I think it's you want to have a dark brown layer, which I have several of,
right,
with an Easter egger rooster.
Okay, so I thought that would give you an olive egg.
Oh, no, that's right. That gives you the olive egger.
Okay, but I could be wrong. I really don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, it's something like that. There's some kind of combination that gives you a blue egg.
All right, so as we mentioned earlier, we are out here at Charley's Chicks for his monthly Chick Day event. And we actually got the pleasure of snagging Charley and actually getting him to sit down.
For a second.
That way we could grab him and learn a little bit more about his farm. So, hey, Charley.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
Great.
How are you?
I'm really good.
Good. Good.
Tell our listeners about what you do here.
Well, we like to think of ourselves as a resource for quality poultry in the North Florida region.
Okay.
My family and I, we raise 60 to 70 different breeds of chickens, all tailored towards the backyard environment. You know, homeowners and homesteaders and folks more in rural areas, whatever, what have you.
Right.
We just have really dived into all things poultry.
Yeah, that's cool. You gave us a quick little tour the last time we were here to pick up Cornish Cross, Jenny and I, and the the setup that you have for your customers to come in from brooder to you show how to raise them on pasture to where you raise your broilers and like the whole thing.
It's a very well thought out operation.
It really is. It's very impressive. It's very impressive.
All
Yeah.
right.
So how did you get started? How did all this happen?
So if we go back a few years into the beginning of 2020,
Okay.
there was, if you remember, they had masks and things and pandemic issues. And I have a lengthy career in film and television, and we just didn't know how to work on set anymore. And I found myself with months and months without work.
Wow.
And then food was getting scarce in the grocery store, and
Right.
couldn't find toilet paper, for God's sakes.
Right.
So we just started thinking of what we could do with our immediate resources, and I've had this slice of property for 20 years or better, and we looked into just how could we support ourselves and our community.
Right.
Is that possible? And chickens came to mind. I walked into Tractor Supply on a Wednesday, saw 100 baby chicks. I bought a part, and I bought the wrong part. I come back an hour later, those chicks were gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
And something sparked in my mind, like, wow, how about
Right.
that?
How about
That's
that?
really something. So I talked to the wife and the kids, and I says, guys, let's just look into what it really takes to raise a chicken, but to raise it in a manner of what does the bird need nutritionally and what does it need socially, and how can we just up the game for backyard chickens? And we dove into this idea that we could support ourselves with eggs and chicken, and then support others with the victories and the losses that we've all come through to get where we are today.
Sure.
Did a little research online. That online's really helpful.
Right.
And it can be a little scary.
There's a lot of opinions out there on
Yeah.
the internet world.
Yeah. There's rabbit holes that'll take you in one direction, and then you spend all lots of time and energy and money
Right.
Yeah.
that was unnecessary. So I was fortunate to find the American Pastured Poultry Producers Association,
Right.
APA.
Okay.
I joined. It's like a little annual membership, and it gave me access to email threads of American farmers all over our nation pasture raising poultry and talking about the cost of birds, the cost of feed. What do you do if your bird has this? What do you do if your bird does that? Things to look out for. The importance of biosecurity, which
Yeah.
we do not talk enough about.
I agree.
So that gave me a catapult into the poultry world by reading and exploring and learning the failures and victories of others before me, and we were able to apply a lot of that to our practices. Not without our losses, let me tell you. Chickens is a full-time gig.
Yeah.
We've learned that moving forward. We've seen a lot of loss, but we've seen a lot of life, and we've seen a lot of victories in my family unit as well as the farm itself. So as a whole, back to the original question, getting started, it was an opportunity to bring my family together and focus on what's good for our family and what's good for our community. And chickens was a diving off point for us.
I love it.
Very nice.
I love that it was a food source thing because, like I always tell people, at the end of the day, everybody's got to eat, right?
It's the one thing that we all have in common.
Right. Exactly.
The one thing.
That's true.
And there's always going to be a need as a consumable resource.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing all the families come up here today.
Yeah.
Like, everybody brings their kids, and they stand in line, and all the kids are so good, too.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you could give a piece of advice to somebody new looking to get into chickens, backyard chickens, what would be the best way to get started?
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the people that came here today are like brand new chicken owners.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A few big first-time questions is what do we feed them? When can they go outside? What breeds do they all have to be the same? Can I get different birds? I mean, there's a lot of first-time questions, but the biggest piece of advice is patience. Don't jump the gun. Try not to endeavor into chickens before you're ready.
You mean like getting 100 or something like that?
That's right.
with no coop.
With no coop, yeah, that's a little dicey.
Right.
You know, chickens. Chickens are fantastic because they can serve multiple purposes. That they can be a family pet, they can be a family resource, they can be a family investment. And so we want to look at that investment, and before we take the plunge, do a little math: the cost of the bird, the cost of the feed, but definitely coming out here to the farm.
Yeah.
Spending a little time with myself or Kayla.
Yeah.
We like to take our time and talk you through it. What are you trying to accomplish? What birds would you like? What color eggs are you interested in? What's your budget?
Right.
How much are you prepared to spend on a monthly basis to feed these critters? All those things kind of come into play when you're talking about poultry. So doing a little math is the first thing you should do. And when you find conflicting opinions on the internets, give us a call and we'll share our experience of how we raise over 100,000 birds a year and keep them alive.
Right.
Good word for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good advice. We were talking before we brought you on about having infrastructure in place, but you know, we come at it as just people who are looking for a couple of layers. But I love what you had to say about all the different ways that chickens provide for a family, because we do that. Like our chickens provide for us. My chickens are pastured through a cow field, where their job is to clean up hay, to spread, and cow manure.
Great.
So
Keep the fly population down.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then we feed, we produce milk, so we feed skimmed milk to our meat birds, and so they take that in, helps reduce the cost of feed, and it depends.
Nice.
Like you do have to figure out the math.
Yes,
for
ma'am.
sure. Yeah, I agree with that. So
For sure.
yeah, they do, and they're a resource that we can sell eggs to our layers. So like, there's all kinds of different ways to do it. So.
Well, and they're a great resource for the garden too. I'm big into composting. The best compost you can ever make is taking those pine shavings out of a meat chicken brooder and composting those pine shavings with that meat chicken poo. It makes the best
whatever
compost.
reason,
Oh, yes.
that manure is so hot, that it composts so fast.
It does. I mean, you can have like finished compost in like 30 days. So
Wow.
I don't know if it's like the volume that they eat, or I don't know, but it definitely is really super rich in nitrogen, and it just composts fast. So.
Sure, absolutely. Well, you nailed it though. Like the stocking density of your brooder and the amount of food that the broilers consume. You know, like depending on your square footage per bird, that depends on the level of manure you have to manage. So that, you know, there's lots of math that we've done in how much bedding, how thick, what type, stocking density. Like Cornish cross, we like to prepare for like 1 square foot per bird in the brooder, and that, you know, they'll start off in this little bitty space, but over the course of 3 weeks, now all of a sudden they took up all the available space there was
quickly.
and then that also helps us manage that volume of manure. But it is pretty incredible stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm so happy that we got to come out here
thanks for having
and
us.
witness this. This is the first time that I have been to like a chick day event out here.
Me
so,
too. Yeah.
it's a super cool event.
Well, I'm thrilled that you guys came.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm
Yeah.
glad you were here. I'm really excited about the American Farmsteadhers
Yes.
event coming.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be there.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
You're right on.
Yes. We need to talk chickens.
For sure. Yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
See ya.
Bye.